From soiling himself in Dr. Howe's office to standing on a scale that couldn't even register his weight, Sean Milliken was not just the heaviest patient ever in my 600-pound life, but potentially the heaviest man alive at one point. Bedbound for years, he was trapped in his own house, slowly fed to almost 1,000 pounds by his enabler mother. And although his mother just wanted to care for him, she was doing the opposite, and this story does not have a happy ending. This is a tale of dependency, trauma, and addiction, and we are looking at all three of Sean Milliken's My 600-Pound Life episodes, and we start at the very beginning.
Every day I wake up and have to face the reality of what my life has become. I'm so big now I can hardly move. All I can do on my own is scooch to the edge of my bed, go to the bathroom, and see if my mom's awake. I can get up, but I can only walk a few steps. So I just stay here in this bed no matter what. I can't do anything for myself anymore.
Completely bedbound, Sean is in an awful state. He can't do anything for himself and relies completely on his mother to look after him. Sean is even too big for clothes, so he's just draped a bedsheet over himself, much like the infamous James King does. When you're over 1,000 pounds and bedbound, there has to be someone who's enabling the entire process. For other stars on the show, they can definitely get to over 600 pounds themselves, but beyond this, there is always someone behind them who's encouraging this behaviour and bringing them food. Some family members of the stars overfeed out of love, as they simply don't understand they're causing harm through these massive portions and constant snacks. Or some more devious carers want to keep their loved ones in a morbidly obese state, as it allows them to receive a carer's allowance from the government and stay out of work. Whatever the case, there's almost always an enabler feeding the star behind the scenes, and in Sean's case, we're going to find out who that is and why they do it.
Mom?
How you doing, sweetie? Good. I just like Sean has to just totally be taken care of from head to toe. You know, everything has to be done for him.
Renee, Sean's mother, is his primary caretaker, looking after meals and some aspects of his personal hygiene. But as Renee is an older parent and because Sean is so big, they also have to rely on an additional caretaker to come in and help with his bathing routine and also prepare more meals. For people who are super morbidly obese like Sean, hygiene is one of the most important aspects of their life. When you have so much excess fat, it essentially pulls and stretches the skin, causing tears if unwashed, and then become infected and then become extremely dangerous.
Sean has gotten so big, I can't handle cleaning him on my own anymore. And it's really important that he stays clean because he gets open sores real easily.
Sean can only stand for about 5 seconds, using his reinforced walker to hold him, while his mother and carer wash his back and legs. It must feel absolutely awful, being so limited by your body and not being able to leave your own bed.
I'm a prisoner. All I want is out. And I never really thought my life would end up like this.
For Sean, it's important to look at his circumstances growing up to get a better understanding of how he ended up gaining almost 1,000 pounds. He can remember in his early years struggling with his emotions, lashing out at people when he became angry, even resorting to violence. And this was due to him having a really troublesome relationship with his dad at home.
My dad would get angry at me, and he had a tendency to get in my face and yell at me. He would do things like back me into a corner, and I was just worried what he might do when he lost it. It was scary. I didn't know how to deal with it. So I would eat, and suddenly I felt a lot better. In that moment, nothing else mattered.
While Sean was overeating to feel better about the situation, Renee was also encouraging him to eat, as she also has a complicated relationship with food herself.
I probably overcompensated in a lot of ways. I couldn't go to the store without bringing him home a treat. I have an eating issue myself, and it's hard to fix in someone else what's wrong with you.
I started putting on a lot of weight, and by the time I was 9, I was probably 150 pounds. And then when I was 10 years old, my mom and dad split up.
I realized it wasn't healthy for Sean to stay around his father, but the divorce really had a hard effect on Sean. It really bothered him.
I felt like it was my fault. Felt like my family had fallen apart because of me. So I kept going to food to deal with those feelings. I would get out of school and my mom would be at work, so I'd just come home and go straight to the fridge. I'd eat anything and everything I could get my hands on. And that's when the weight gain started building.
It seems like because of Renee, Sean's eating habits have just multiplied, and he's had no one to teach him how to have a healthy relationship with food. Now, I do sympathise with Renee, because ultimately her intentions are good, and she's just trying to make her son feel better. She also probably had no one to ever teach her how to eat healthy either, and she's just passing down the only habits that she knows. But at the same time, Sean was almost double what a healthy weight should be from a young age. He was clearly morbidly obese even in school, and Renee should have educated herself on the topic, and perhaps Sean wouldn't have been in the situation he's in today if she did. Sean continued to gain about 50 pounds every single year, eventually reaching over 400 pounds by the time he was in high school. This level of weight gain is so dangerous, and honestly, I'm surprised Sean is even alive at this point, having been this heavy for so long. To make matters worse, in his senior year of high school, Sean fell down some stairs and severely injured his leg. Recovery was hard, and because of his size, he just became bedbound.
It's been 8 years since that happened. And I've been trapped in this bed and I've been getting bigger and bigger. To the point now I don't even know what I weigh. And I'm scared to find out. My knee has never fully healed. So I just kind of sit, watch TV, knit, play games. I miss being able to do simple things for myself. But it's just not possible anymore. And I know it's because of my eating.
And I mean off topic, but I would have thought at this point CPS or someone would have came in to protect Sean from his own mother, because they could see the writing on the wall. He was already that big, and then becoming bedbound, he's only going to get bigger. Being bedbound is incredibly dangerous for someone who's already obese. It limits the calories that they're able to burn due to a lack of exercise, and it gives them no distractions to not eat. When you're stuck at home all day, in bed, food is always available. If Sean doesn't work, it's not that he has to wait until the end of his shift to have a snack. He can just get it right there and then in the middle of the day, or just any time he wants. But this situation's really taken a toll on Sean, and his life now constantly revolves around food, and it's just all he can think about.
For me, eating can be an all-day thing. I keep snacks under my covers just to make sure I have something nearby when I want to eat. Hey, Mom, I'm probably going to need a little snack.
Sean has no appetite control. He's hungry incessantly. What do you want?
Just a couple burgers and soda. Maybe medium fry. Oh, could you give me one of those caramel sundaes?
Sure, no problem. Sometimes it's just easier to give him what he wants, and unfortunately, I do that all the time. Okie dokie. I've had people tell me, you don't have to give him food just because he says he's hungry. But I'm a mom, and when your kids say, I'm hungry, Mom, feed your kid.
It's no surprise that Sean is always hungry, because in order to get to his size, he must be eating at least 10,000 calories a day. And as Renee explains, when he's hungry, he just needs food, and he needs it fast. The volume of food that Sean eats would take hours to prepare, so the easiest thing for Renee to do is to go to drive-thrus with a handwritten list and reel off his mammoth order.
Because Sean likes to eat pretty regularly, fast food really is pretty much the easiest thing to do. Great. Thank you very much. He has very little in life to really look forward to. So my coming home with something is a very big event for him.
Food has kind of become my comfort. Kind of like a child with their blankie.
Try the bag.
When I'm sad or when I'm stressed, when I'm just plain down in the dumps, I turn to food. I don't know what tomorrow will bring, but at least I know food is there. Losing weight is the only way I can survive this. But I can't stop eating. I'm done.
You done?
Can I have a couple pieces of yours?
Sean is killing himself slowly. If we don't change, I don't see Sean living more than 6 months. All right, kiddo. Eat what you want to eat.
Something has to change. I'm killing myself more and more each day. And I'm tired of just existing. I want to have a family. I would love to have friends. I can't even do that now. I need to lose weight just so I can live. I have no other options. And if I don't, I'm dead.
Sean's behaviour towards food has been incredibly damaging, and his addiction is stealing his life away. He hasn't left his house in over 8 years and only enjoys eating food. I'm honestly surprised that Renee has let it go on for this long. How can she see Sean eating himself to death in front of her and not only stand back and watch, but actually just encourage the behaviour. Renee infantilizes Sean, treating him like a baby in a crib where he wails whenever he needs her. I think she's obsessed with feeling needed by him and loves to feel like a good mother by just giving him whatever he wants. But the fact of the matter is that Renee could have stopped feeding him at any point. He's bedbound anyway, so it's not like he could have just got out of bed and made the food himself. And many other Redditors agree on this take too. I blame the mother. She worked against the doctor. She fed her precious child after a sprained ankle to the point of no return. She could have put a stop to it at any time. She was selfish and downright evil for encouraging him to eat so much and being inactive for years. 2 weeks later, Sean and his mother have to make the difficult decision to move to Houston for Dr. Now's treatment. The journey there means that this will be the first time that Sean has left the house in over 8 years. The trip will take around 30 to 40 hours depending on how long Sean can stand to be in the back of a van for. Flying is absolutely out of the question due to his size and the associated health risks, so he has to travel on a mattress in the back of a van.
I'm very worried about that. If I fall, it'll be near knee popped. Ow. I'm leaving everything I know to save my life.
Look at the sky.
He needs to experience life. That's what I hope comes out of all this.
There you go.
Good.
Carl's
Jake, help me with my leg. 3, 2.
2, 1. There you go.
This is by far the biggest risk my mom and I have ever taken
Good job. Just
at this point. And then no matter what I do or what help I get, I'm still going to be dead soon.
The trip is quite complicated, as obviously Sean is unable to walk and use the public toilets, so they have to create a makeshift toilet in the back of the van.
I had to go to the bathroom, and it's a lot more complicated to do simple things I would do at home. I'm stuck! Oh,
got my shoulder into
it. Oh, my knee!
No, okay. I hate to see my child in so much pain, but I know this is to help him.
I'm just done with this drive. I want to be in my own bed again.
And even on the way down to see Dr. Now, the bad habits don't seem to be slowing down, as they stop countless times at fast food drive-thrus. Once Sean arrives at the hospital, Dr. Now will see how far Sean can walk and what the state of his body is, as Sean doesn't even know his own weight, as he hasn't stepped on a scale in years, so it'll be the first time he learns what his actual weight is.
Sean,
Hello.
how are you today?
I'm good.
How was your trip?
Interesting.
All right. Right now, Sean doesn't look like he's very concerned about his health. He's clearly at least 800 pounds from looks of it, and he has swelling of entire left leg and deformity of left foot. Let's bring him in. But Sean has some mobility, which is good.
You okay?
But he can't walk too far, and he still needs to be in a wheelchair. So we get him inside and see how he's doing.
Being wheeled around the hospital is the most movement Sean has experienced in years, so he's struggling with the change quite a bit.
Please stop. I can't go any further. Stop.
Let me take that.
Pain.
Thank you.
Sean, you feeling okay?
No, I'm in extreme pain.
What's the matter?
Everything. I'm not used to sitting in a wheelchair.
Okay, you don't want to go any further. I will examine you here.
I've had to do more in the last 20, 15 minutes than I've had to in a while. Extreme.
Sean is throwing a little tantrum because he's uncomfortable in his wheelchair. He's likely used to getting his way with that. He lives with his mother, and I don't think it's hard to start to understand their unhealthy dynamic.
After examining Sean, Dr. Now speaks to his mother, where he lays out some home truths about how her behaviour has been killing him over the past few years.
And the reality is, Sean must be taking in at least 20 to 30,000 calories a day. And that is because his mother bringing it to him. You're killing him right now. This has to stop. This is a very unhealthy dynamic between them.
Renee loves that Sean is dependent on him, so it'll be incredibly difficult to stick to the diet, as the desired outcome is that Sean is able to become independent again and start looking after himself, the exact opposite of where Renee wants him to be. And we see this when Sean unfortunately has an embarrassing accident in the middle of the hospital.
What?
Sean is used to his mother completely taking care of him.
without you getting
As long as she does everything for him, Sean has no reason to leave. And she controls him with the food. We have to start making drastic changes with him, starting with his home situation.
It's clear that Renee kind of enjoys doing these types of tasks for Sean, even though he's a 28-year-old man who clearly should be able to go to the toilet by himself. And we see the physical effect this has had on Sean when he finally steps onto the scales. But there's one small problem.
All right, the scale said over the limit, so this scale goes only to 800 pounds.
As Sean is over max capacity for the standing scales, which for reference many other stars do use, so Sean is exceeding them by quite a lot, he has to go on a special bed scale.
All right, we're gonna get you in the bed and check your weight. Looks like you're 919 pounds. You may be the heaviest person alive right now. This is not a good place to be. At your weight, it's a miracle that you're alive. Both Sean and his mom claim they're ready to make change.
The fact that Sean is 919 pounds makes him not only the biggest person we've ever covered on the channel, but also the biggest person ever on my 600 pound life. He's so large that the producers could have gotten away with creating an entirely new show just for him. After his examination at the hospital, Sean is sent back to the temporary apartment in Houston with the goal of losing over 100 pounds in the next few months. The diet plan which is given to Renee states that Sean can only eat 800 calories a day, but as he's been eating well over 10,000, maybe even 20 to 30,000 a day already, this will be an extreme drop for him.
Sean hasn't really adapted to the new diet just yet, but we're trying. Sean has the big appetite. He just wants to eat constantly. Never seems like he's going to get full. And if he's hungry, eat.
It's really annoying me that Renee is moving around in a wheelchair, when as far as I know, she doesn't actually have any problems that require her to use one, apart from being overweight herself. She also states that when Sean's hungry, he needs to eat something, implying that she's often going outside the calorie restrictions to feed him. But the thing is, Sean doesn't actually need to eat just because he's hungry. He's eaten enough food over the past 8 years to last him a lifetime, so he really will be fine if he doesn't eat anything at all. But Renee is letting him indulge in a craving now and then, or maybe all the time. Totally going off track from the diet plan.
Today I was craving a burger. And I think I have to be able to enjoy food just a little. The doctor wants me on 800 calories, and I have no idea what that would be in actual food. Actually, I think that 800 is a bit extreme. But I've cut back a lot. I'm trying to keep it down to one burger or fast food meal a day. So I feel like it's a good compromise to show the doctor I can do this, and I hope I'm making good progress.
Why on earth are Sean and Renee just not sticking to the diet? So what if Sean thinks 800 calories is extreme? Being nearly 1,000 pounds is extreme, and Dr. Now is trying to save his life. I can never understand when the stars think they know better than Dr. Now, the man whose job it is literally treating super morbidly obese patients every single day.
Sean and I did try to keep to the doctor's diet, but we didn't feel comfortable putting him on that low of a calorie diet. But I really do feel Sean is doing better now.
Crazy how even though Renee didn't feel comfortable putting Sean on the 800 calorie diet, she didn't reach out to Dr. Now for reassurance, or even suggest maybe just putting him on 1200 calories a day instead. She tried to just cut down. The problem with cutting down on bad foods is that there's no measurable amount to work towards. You don't know how many calories you're dropping, and therefore don't know how much weight to expect to lose. And I don't know how Renee can say that Sean is doing better when it takes 3 medical professionals to get him out of his apartment because he still can't walk. Back at the hospital to see Dr. Now 2 months after his first appointment, Sean had to lose 100 pounds to qualify for weight loss surgery. But it's not looking good for Sean, as Dr. Now thinks he may have put even more weight on instead of losing it.
How is your degree of ability to move around?
It's worse.
Let me just check a few things. Sean is so big now, he cannot make it to the waiting room door. He's worse off now, and he looked like he maybe put another 50 to 100 pounds on. Yeah, your edema is getting much worse. At this point, he may be approaching 1,000 pounds. Very few people make it to that weight and survive long. Again,
to get a better understanding of how this even happened, Dr. Now decides to speak to Renee.
Good. I mean, he's eating, just good healthy food, but we need to get on 800 calories.
Renee's condition is far worse than 2 months ago. This is not acceptable.
What should he be eating? Should he be eating protein?
I gave you all the information you needed in the diet plan. You're not getting it. Sean is near death right now, so something has to be done. If I send Sean home, this will probably be the last time I see him. Right now, we need to get his health under control and his weight going in the right direction. You and your mom has not made a single positive change as far as I can tell. So I'm admitting you to the hospital immediately so we can get your health under control. This is going to be your last chance. Do this or that's it.
We will be able to do it.
I'm going to admit him to the hospital and start him on 800 calorie diet per day for next couple months.
Dr. Now only ever admits patients to the hospital when they either have a severe medical condition that needs monitoring, or the patient won't lose weight at home because of their enabler. And obviously in this case, as we all know, Renee is 100% Sean's enabler, and I wouldn't be surprised if she never even opened the diet plan that Dr. Now gave her. Another 2 months later, Sean is still in the hospital, having been on a restricted diet the entire time, and it's safe to say he isn't entirely happy about it.
I've been in the hospital 2 months. They've had me on a controlled diet, and I've pretty much been starving.
And the most shocking part of all this is that 2 months ago when Dr. Now admitted him, Sean actually weighed 1,003 pounds. That means that while Renee should have been feeding Sean at home the diet plan, she was actually overfeeding him, and he nearly gained over 100 pounds in over 2 months. That level of weight gain is actually insane, and I don't think I've ever seen anything like it before. Since being on the diet in the hospital, Sean has lost weight rapidly, losing 259 pounds in just 2 months. This shows just how much Renee was overfeeding Sean when she was supposed to be following the diet plan. But Sean isn't out of the woods yet, as Dr. Now wants him to lose 100 pounds over the next 2 months by himself at home to qualify for the weight loss surgery. Concerned with Sean gaining any weight back, he also plans to send a nutritionist and physiotherapist to help with his progress. A week later, when he's back at home, Sean is starting to get fed up with the program already.
I've been working on making more progress, but I'm kind of getting fed up with all the restrictions. Dr. Now said he's sending some people to help me stay on track, and today the nutritionist is coming. And I'm not looking forward to it.
When the nutritionist arrives, we learn already that just a week in, Renee is already going back to her old habits of overfeeding Sean.
So, are you on an 800 calorie diet?
Truthfully, we're probably hitting closer to 1,400 to 1,500 calories a day, and sometimes even a little more than that. I'm still dealing with trying to say no to Sean on snacks in between meals. Hence the reason why he still got a piece of pizza this month and he still got a donut this month.
I know it's a tough thing, but I do think, if you want to have surgery and you want that to come about in a few months or so, you need to really, really be strict.
And when another week passes by and the physical therapist comes for a visit, Sean is again less than inviting.
I'm not in the mood today to deal with a physical therapist. I think I'm doing fine on my own.
He also doesn't really try at all when encouraged to stand up and take at least one step.
Moving is so painful and hard for me. I can't do as much as they want me to. This all just feels like too much.
Let's see if we can take 6 to 8 steps. You're at 4. We want to go a little bit further than that.
That's all I got now, actually.
Okay. Well, let's back it up.
And the more I do, the harder it is for me to breathe. It's just way too difficult and way over my limit.
It's quite disturbing to see how the fat on Sean's legs have fused into position from the 8 years he's been lying down, and how his foot is quite severely deformed too. Not only has his weight had a major impact on his body, but also the years of lying down horizontally have too. A few weeks later, Sean calls 911 after suffering from severe chest pain. He's brought straight into the hospital to see Dr. Now, where they run several tests to find out what the cause is. But Dr. Now doesn't think there's actually anything wrong with Sean, and believes he's making up the symptoms to try and get out of the weight loss program.
Sean came to the hospital claiming he was having chest pain and worried he was having heart attack. I suspect that he was making it up to try to get out of his physical therapy and his diet plan, and I think I'm right about that. Sean, we ran some tests and nothing is wrong except that you need to lose more weight. So I'm guessing that you haven't been sticking to your diet and exercise. Okay, 787 pounds. That's a weight gain just over 40 pounds. That is unacceptable. You can't keep manipulating everyone like you have done with your mother. You're risking your life every day you do this. either this stops now or you can try to figure it out on your own because you think you know better.
As Dr. Now is almost out of options and can't convince both Sean and Renee to stick to the diet plan, he sends a psychologist to help understand the relationship between the pair and get them to understand how unhealthy their dynamic is. He raises an important question about Renee always giving in to Sean's constant hunger.
Could you think about saying no as a way of saying, I love you?
I can, because I've kind of had to learn to do that. And I can't say it's a struggle I've completely overcome. I still succumb sometimes.
It's hard to say no.
Yeah, it's hard to say no.
Are you ready to start pushing yourself there?
Yeah.
Everything that normally you bring him
Right.
now requires some level of movement.
Right.
And I don't want you to start real big. I want you to start with something that we know he could do.
Right.
All right, guys. Well, I think we're going to call it good.
Thank
Okay. Great meeting you. Y'all take care.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Take care.
The therapy session seems to have gone well, and the pair seem more determined to continue with the program. Whether they've actually stuck with the plan since Sean's hospital visit is about to be revealed, as he is back in the hospital 2 months later for the follow-up appointment. And just a reminder, in this time, Sean should have lost over 150 pounds.
I really hope I lost the 150 I needed. And I am very, very nervous.
6:36. Cutting it close, what you did it. So we're going to approve you for surgery.
Thank you. It's been a hard journey, but it's well worth it.
I'm proud of you. I'll see you later. Okay? All right.
I can't believe it.
Mom, you did good.
I'm just so happy and proud right now.
And despite all odds, Sean has actually lost the weight needed to qualify for weight loss surgery. It seems the therapy session really helped, and Renee got that extra push he needed to start denying Sean's cravings. I don't know if it's just because we focus on the bad patients on this channel, but it seems rare that the therapy actually helps, so it's good to see it really making a difference in this case. A month later, Sean is ready to undergo weight loss surgery, and Dr. Now is cautious that the surgery will be very high risk, as Sean is one of the largest patients he's ever operated on. But despite the risks, the surgery did go very well, and now Sean has to continue with his weight loss post-surgery. A couple months after the surgery, Sean is back at the hospital for another weigh-in, where he should be dropping the pounds pretty quickly with his reduced appetite from the gastric sleeve.
You ready to get your weight check?
I have worked pretty hard for this moment.
You're down to 583. This is good. You're under 600 pounds. All right?
Wow. That's awesome.
By the end of Sean's first episode, he's down to 548 pounds, a total loss of 455 pounds, nearly half of his original body weight from the start of the show. Despite all of his setbacks, mostly the complicated relationship with his mother, Sean changed it all around in the last few months and really made an effort to change. It seems like talking to the therapist really helped, and Sean might have needed it to get over the traumatic things that happened in his childhood to start making real progress. However, Sean's journey doesn't end with this episode, as we're lucky enough to get 2 extra shows featuring Sean in the spin-off Where Are They Now series. Almost a year after the episode aired, Sean is down to just under 500 pounds, but a lot of things have changed since the last time we saw him. Renee unfortunately fell quite ill and ended up in hospital. With no one left to take care of him, Dr. Now hired a healthcare assistant to help Sean with his daily tasks, but unfortunately, Renee ended up passing away due to her illness, leaving Sean completely heartbroken.
This past month, things got really bad because my mother passed away. A couple of months ago, my mom went to the hospital because she wasn't feeling well, and she just kept getting worse. They said she had renal failure, and she didn't make it. So she passed away a couple weeks ago, and I'm devastated. And I don't know what to do right now, because my mom was everything to me. She took care of me and provided for me, and I've been completely dependent on her for my whole life. I've made a lot of progress these last couple of months, being able to do more for myself, but I'm still not able to get around for too long, and I need help, so there's no way I can get a job and provide for myself right now. So I can't pay for this apartment anymore, and I have to move out. So my dad is down helping me pack everything.
The situation that Sean is in is quite dangerous, as he's always overeaten when upset or stressed, and right now he's in a very high stress environment. With his mother gone, he has to move out of his apartment and find somewhere cheaper to live, but he doesn't have any other friends or family to properly take care of him. Back in Dr. Now's office, Sean is stepping on the scales to ensure he is keeping the weight off and losing each month, but with the stress of his mother, it's unclear if Sean will have been able to stick to his goal.
I'm in Dr. Now's right now, and I'm about to find out where my weight's at. I was down to 492 a few months ago, and Dr. Now gave me the goal of losing 25 pounds a month. So that means I need to be below 417.
523.
That's a little unfortunate. I didn't think I'd be that far off from where I was hoping to be. I know I've had a hard time dealing with everything, but I don't think I'm eating a lot. So I don't understand how I gained. And I honestly don't know what Dr. Now will say.
Gaining over 30 pounds instead of losing 25 pounds is a massive turn in the opposite direction. But to be honest, I do sympathise with Sean here, as losing his mother has obviously had a really bad effect on him, and I can imagine he's really suffering with the grief. While Dr. Now is clearly also sympathetic to Sean, he doesn't see the situation as an excuse for Sean's bad habits to come creeping back. For someone like Sean, if he doesn't turn his life around quickly, he could easily get back to over 1,000 pounds again in less than a year, as it's way easier for him to gain weight than it is to lose it. As Sean is also struggling with finding accommodation, he asks Dr. Now if it would be possible for him to live in a care facility. However, Dr. Now thinks this is totally out of the question, as Sean really needs to continue losing weight, and then he will be in a position where he can start looking for a job and start supporting himself properly.
I know this may be hard to hear, but you're a grown man who has been given every resource to be able to take care of yourself right now. But the problem really is you don't want to. And we're not going to enable you and make that worse. So if you want to help, then lose the weight. We'll keep providing you with psychotherapy to help you work through things. And Deborah, your care assistant, will keep helping you for the next few months.
I'll lose the weight. Don't worry.
All right.
Thanks.
When Renee was alive, she did absolutely everything for him, and now that she's gone, Sean is having to start picking up the pieces and doing the growing up that he should have done over 10 years ago. The first step towards Sean becoming independent is moving into his own flat, where he has to organise everything himself, and it's safe to say that's not going too well.
Today I'm moving out of my current apartment and trying to get into a new one. And the reason I have to move is I can't afford the rent. So this was the last day I could stay in my apartment. And I found a small little studio apartment that I'm trying to move into. A moving company is helping me move today. But this move is going to wipe me out financially. I can't afford the movers, the taxi, let alone rent, so I have no idea what I'm doing. So I'm basically screwed.
The state of Sean's apartment on moving day is crazy. It doesn't look like anything's packed or if he's even ready to go. He just tells the movers to pack all the paper and rubbish that's been left on the floor in case it's important. Somehow, all of Sean's things have been moved into his new studio apartment, and we can catch up with him a month later, but it doesn't actually look like he's even unpacked anything.
I haven't been able to unpack much of anything because there's just nowhere to put it. On top of that, I don't even know if I'm going to be able to afford to stay here long. So might as well leave everything in boxes so I don't have to go through the torture doing what I just did over again. But it makes it impossible to find anything, which is amazing because this place is ridiculously small.
But Sean isn't in his new apartment for long before being rushed to the hospital after calling an ambulance for his severe stomach pain.
Sean arrived at the hospital last night complaining of severe stomach pain. We have run some tests and he has developed a significant number of gallstones. So overall, he's just not taking care of himself. And now he has an issue that we need to address before it becomes far more serious. In addition to the fact that he looks like he has gained some since I saw him last.
As Dr. Now believes that Sean has put quite a bit of weight on since his last appointment, he asks Sean what his diet has been like. But because Sean is struggling with money issues, he says he can only afford to eat bread. Now, I know food is expensive, but there are lots of alternatives that Sean could be eating instead that wouldn't break the bank.
All right, Sean, let's see if we can get you up. You're up to 598, almost 600 pounds. So in 2 months, you gained almost 75 pounds. That's unacceptable, Sean. But one step at a time. You're gonna have to get your eating habit under control before it gets any worse. Because the reality is you should have lost at least 50, 60 pounds. So tomorrow we'll go ahead and put you to sleep. We'll look down your stomach and take your gallbladder and see how your sleep holding up, okay?
Yeah.
Sean is making one bad decision after the other, gaining double what he's supposed to be losing. The next day, Sean undergoes surgery to remove his gallbladder, and at the same time, Dr. Now checks the state of his stomach to see if it's gone back to its original size after the surgery.
And I'm also going to use this operation to see how his gastric revision is doing, and see if he has stretched anything back out with his weight gain. He's definitely started the process of undoing his operation because we reduced the size of his stomach by 90%, and right now he's overeaten so much it's been stretched back to about half the size it was before surgery. Looks good. Let's close it up.
The overeating that Sean has done over the past few months has basically undone the gastric sleeve, making it harder for him to keep the weight off in the future. Doctor now suggests that Sean has a full gastric bypass instead of just a gastric sleeve. However, Sean outright refuses to have any more surgeries, but if he doesn't comply with the diet, there'll be nothing anyone can do to stop him from gaining all the way back. But everything seems to be getting worse and worse for Sean, as a natural disaster completely derails his plans. Sean ends up staying at the hospital longer than he was supposed to originally, as Hurricane Harvey hit Houston, leaving most of the city flooded. When Sean eventually gets back to his studio apartment, he walks in to find water damage on all of his belongings, with the flooding likely getting at least a foot high.
This is not encouraging. Stay here, because I may need to be leaving. Please, God, let me try. I just crazy. Anyway, Mickey. It's just as bad as I was afraid it was going to be. Water is gone now, but we got hit bad. It looks like it got up a few feet in here, and I could smell the rot in the mold, which is probably coming from everything, including my stuff. This is pretty much my worst case scenario, and what I was afraid of. I just feel like giving up right now. Feels like anytime I even want to try and work hard, to do what I need, to start taking a step in the right direction, life just slaps me right back down. It's lower than I'd like. So I have no idea what to do. And I feel completely hopeless at this point. I don't know how to fix my life. Feels like my luck can't get any worse. Because my life is the only thing I have left to lose. And right now, I just can't take it.
With his apartment flooded, the only option he has was to stay in a hotel. It's not an ideal scenario, especially considering he needs to stick to the diet without a kitchen. Not only this, Sean still needs help dressing himself, which means his carer has to come to the hotel to take care of him.
My friend and PCA Deborah is here today to help me out.
Alrighty, well let's put these shorts on now.
I would need some help with this. Thanks. Without help, it's really hard for me to get out and about. Really move.
It's crazy to see Sean walking around now, after being bedbound for so long. The frightening thing is, even after having lost over 400 pounds, he still looks like the other stars starting their weight loss journey. And this really just drives home how large he was at the start, and how much further he still has to go. As Sean can't live in a hotel forever, he goes out furniture shopping with his carer, but this is something Sean has never had to do before because he's never lived as an adult. When Renee was alive, she would have taken care of all this for Sean, but now that he's on his own, he's got a lot of catching up to do.
It's pretty nerve-wracking and frustrating, trying to figure out how to start over from after the flood. Now I'm just trying to figure out how to actually afford it and get it to my apartment.
Alright, we got it.
As Sean is also struggling financially without his mother income to help, which I think was also a disability, the furniture store sympathises with his situation, and due to the flooding too, they agreed to give Sean a brand new mattress free of charge. In another stroke of luck, Sean's rental company moved him to a new apartment that was undamaged by the flood, as well as letting him stay rent-free for a few months. But with nothing else to do, with a bit more income and no distractions, Sean's weight loss journey is starting to slip again.
But the boredom has been getting to me, because not much has been going on, but there's not much I can do, so it's just really hard. I'm trying to stick to the diet, but I know I'm probably not doing so great right now. But the only reason I've been eating crap lately is I don't have enough money to buy food. And pizza is pretty much the cheapest and easiest thing to get.
Okay. Alright, okay.
Thanks.
Alright, you're welcome.
And anytime I eat pizza, I do think I shouldn't eat this. But it's just too hard right now. And I'm starting to get more rashes on my body. I've called Dr. Now about it, And he says it's because I'm not bathing and taking care of myself. So he's been sending a care assistant to help me because he's worried that if I get an infection from it, that it could get really bad and it could kill me.
Watching Sean answer the door to the delivery man with nothing but a sheet draped around him is honestly quite disgusting. I'm not sure why Sean's gone back to not wearing any clothes, because he started wearing them in the previous episode. Unless they were damaged in the flood, or he can't dress by himself, I don't see why he needs to start getting lazy about it again. And not getting dressed means that he can't go out for walks, which he definitely should be doing, as this helps with his mobility. And with the added fact that he's ordering pizza because he can't afford anything else, I'd definitely say that Sean is slipping back into his old lazy ways. I don't want to be too hard on him here, because I imagine he's grieving the loss of his mother and struggling with feelings of isolation, but he still should be making some kind of effort here. On top of this, Sean says he's starting to struggle with his mobility again, and you won't believe what he's been doing instead of going to the toilet.
PCA is supposed to come every day. On days my PCA doesn't come, I don't get my bucket done. I don't know.
Hi, Sean. How are you?
I'm good, you?
Fine.
Good. Because it's starting to get too hard to get up too often. And after a few trips to the bathroom or kitchen, I have to rest for a bit. So I have a bucket for restroom breaks for when it gets to be too much to get all the way to the bathroom. And I don't have the energy to go out much.
Ready?
And to do much. So I don't feel up to going to the therapy yet. Or having Dr. Paradise come here. I'm planning on doing that soon. I'm getting back on track. This is all just a temporary situation. And I think I need to hit rock bottom before I start making my climb back to the top. I just need this time right now to take a break and get fully settled in and into a good pattern. And I will get back to where I need. I'm just going through a really rough patch right now.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I want Dr. Now's help. And I'm going to need his help to get into the facility I need. I just need to hit the pause button and take a moment. I need a minute. I don't know how much I've gained, maybe 10 pounds, maybe more, I don't know. Primary reason I'm not looking forward to seeing Dr. Now is I know I haven't lost weight. He's going to be pissed, and I don't need to deal with his attitude.
The fact that Sean says he needs to hit rock bottom before he works his way back up is scary. What does he think rock bottom even is? Because to be honest, I think he's already there. He looks like he's gained over 100 pounds since his last appointment, and it's like he's totally given up. Sean doesn't have any time to pause the program. He needs to act fast, because he's already slipping and becoming very close to weighing over 1,000 pounds again. I know he's struggling with his financial issues, but if he stuck to the weight loss plan, he would eventually be able to get a job and start earning more money. And also remember, it's cheaper to eat less food. It's like he's sitting and waiting for something to happen rather than helping himself. The rash on Sean's stomach is also quite concerning, as he isn't washing himself as often as he needs to, and it looks like it's at risk of becoming infected. Over the next few weeks, it gets even worse, so Dr. Now asks Sean to come to the hospital so we can take a proper look at it, but Sean isn't looking forward to seeing Dr. Now at all.
And I'm not looking forward to this, because I'm just not in the mood to deal with whatever he has to say about my weight, because I should still have another month to make some progress. I just want to get this over with and get treated and hopefully get home quickly without too much grief right now.
And as expected, Dr. Now doesn't hold back when he sees Sean.
Well, it looked like you have gained a lot, so I'm sure that's part of the issue. But let's see how things look. This is all infected.
That's not the ones I'm worried about.
As long as you're this big, they're going to be able to get rid of all this infection.
Sadly, I know that.
But you're not doing anything about it, and that's the problem.
I'm trying to get down to eating small amounts again.
You're going right back to the way you were.
Haven't been eating super well lately.
You gotta open wounded. Okay, this is not good. Okay, Sean.
Ouch. That's the one I'm worried about.
We're gonna go ahead and instruct him some IV antibiotic, get some culture, and see what's going on. But your situation is not good at all because you're choosing to eat whatever you want right now.
I'm done eating crap and I'm done eating bad, And this is a good wake up for me.
Well, I heard that before, so I'm skeptical about that. Once we clear this infection up, then you're gonna have to prove it.
Sure.
All right, I'll see you after we run some tests.
Dr. Now is seriously concerned about Sean, as he seems to be heading down the path of self-destruction. He's fallen back into his old habits and outright refusing to meet with the therapist or any of the healthcare professionals that Dr. Now's asked him to. And to make matters worse, the infection on Sean's stomach has gotten much worse and is now a literal open wound. And Dr. Now is worried that without treatment, it could lead to his death within months. But Dr. Now doesn't just want to admit him to the hospital again and put him on a controlled diet, as they would be doing all of the hard work for him. Sean needs to make the difficult steps at home first, otherwise he'll just be wasting Dr. Now's time yet again. The end of Sean's first Where Are They Now episode ends on quite the cliffhanger, as Dr. Now isn't sure Sean has the strength to continue with the program, and with his infection, his situation is life-threatening. But thankfully, we don't have to wait too long to find out what happens to Sean, as he has his second Where Are They Now episode that's set a year after the previous one. At this point, Sean weighs 668 pounds, with a goal weight of 190 pounds, meaning he has to lose almost 500 pounds to finish the program. Due to the significant threat on his life, Dr. Now keeps Sean in the hospital for a while to keep a close eye on his infection.
I've been in the hospital for about a month. I'm here because one of my wounds got infected. The infection in my side was bad enough they felt they had to check me in, and Dr. Now told me that it could be life-threatening. I'm not happy about being here because they have me on a controlled diet. What happened was I hit a really bad depression for a bit. In the last few months, I've been eating a little too much junk food. I just lost my mom this year. After that, I didn't really care about anything. So I just ate what I wanted, did what I wanted, and it caused me to gain weight. Now I'm done with the pity party. I just want to get back on track. I'm just hoping I can go home.
It's crazy to me that Sean is annoyed about being on the controlled diet, when it's the only thing that's stopping him from literally dying. And after a month on the new diet, Sean gets to see if it's paid off when he's about to be weighed.
I weighed 668, and I think I dropped a fair bit of weight since I've been here. We'll just have to see.
567 pounds.
At least I'm down from when I came in. It's a fairly good drop. And the last few days, my wounds have been doing fairly well. Looks like they're healing up, so I might be going home soon. I'm looking forward to that.
Losing 100 pounds in a month is incredible, and it shows just how effective the diet is. It's clear as day really. If you stick to it, you lose the weight. It makes it even more obvious when stars are lying about their diets too, because it's clear that they haven't stuck to it if they do gain weight, no matter what they try and tell Dr. Now. But even though he's lost lots of weight, Sean still isn't happy with the situation.
I've been here in the hospital for a while now, and it's been miserable to say the least. The food is pretty bad, so this place is nothing like what I need. It's far too restrictive, and I need to be somewhere more reasonable, which is why I'm telling everybody I need a care facility, not a hospital.
And I'm not really sure what Sean means when he says he needs to stay somewhere more reasonable. Dr. Now is trying to save his life. Of course he's not going to like the food when he's eaten nothing but fast food for the past 10 years. To be honest, Sean's lucky that Dr. Now intervened when he did, because during the time when Sean was at home, he gained over 70 pounds on his own. As Sean's hospital stay has ran its course, Dr. Now gives Sean some strict instructions on how to take care of himself at home, as he runs the risk of his infection coming back.
So you need to make sure you wash dirty once you go home, okay?
Unfortunately, I still can't fit in the shower at home. I'm trying to do sponge baths and stuff, but even that's limited.
The shower is not too small, you're too big.
Point of view.
Well, what's going to help you with that is losing weight, because you're not going to fit in the shower when you're 500 pounds. But you're a grown man, and you should be able to take care of yourself and do the basic things you need, like keeping clean. And if you don't, your infection will come back. You understand me? Good.
Almost all of the things Sean complains about would be solved if he just lost the weight. Like Dr. Now says, the shower isn't too small, Sean is just too big. And the fact that Dr. Now has to teach Sean to wash himself shows just how much his mother Renee looked after him, to the point where Sean can't even keep himself clean as nearly a 30-year-old man. Before he goes home, Dr. Now would like to see Sean's weight one last time to see if he's lost any more pounds in the 2 weeks since his last weighing.
Alright, let me turn the scale on. Alright, this is zero. So you're at 521.
Yeah, my back's starting to get.
Okay, sit back down. So that's a weight loss of 147 pounds in a month and a half. So that's good.
In just 2 weeks, Sean has lost nearly 50 pounds. Again, another incredible weight loss. And this shows when Dr. Now gives people a 50-pound weight loss in around 2 months, it should be easy, as Sean's just lost it in 2 weeks. And Sean could make the same progress at home too if he sticks to the diet, but we'll see how he gets on with that soon. Scared to live by himself again, Sean calls his dad to see if he'll be willing to live with him for a bit, to help with morale and ensure he sticks to his diet.
I just talked to Dr. Now. He said that I should be able to go home today.
Good, good. Yeah, that's good news.
So I'll keep you updated.
I appreciate it. I'll tell you what, I've got a busy day. I gotta get busy. Okay?
Alrighty. No problem.
About that. I can talk to you this evening.
Alrighty.
Okay?
Talk to you later.
Okay, bye-bye now.
Alright, bye. So I guess my dad doesn't have time for me, so I don't have anyone to help me. I'm completely on my own since my mom passed away.
And it's quite sad to see that Sean's dad didn't seem to care much about him being discharged from the hospital, but it also seems that Sean took it too personally, as he didn't even ask his dad if he could stay, instead getting upset that he didn't offer. A month later, Sean is settling in at home, living by himself again, but he's starting to slip back into his old ways, with the excuse that he can't afford healthy food.
I've been home from the hospital for a few weeks now, but I've just been settling in, trying to get adjusted to being on my own. Things since I've been back from the hospital haven't been going very well. Now that I'm taking care of myself, I'm responsible for my own food choices, and it's hard because I can't afford to buy healthy food.
Not only has his eating been unhealthy, but his personal hygiene seems to be slipping too.
So uncomfortable. As far as my hygiene goes, I have a caregiver who has been coming by, but she runs out of time for helping me with everything. But I do try and take care of myself where I can. I recently bought some supplies to help me take a little bit better care of washing. Bought a bucket so I can keep hot water in and some soaps to help wash me a bit better. I told Dr. Now when I was in the hospital that I want to turn things around, and I do.
The image of Sean washing himself next to the kitchen sink is honestly pretty disgusting and disturbing, as he's rinsing his dirty wash rag over the same surfaces he prepares his food on. It's sad that the care assistant doesn't have enough time, but like I've said time and time again before, the more weight Sean loses, the easier these issues will become, as Sean will finally be able to use a shower by himself. After a month passes by, Sean is scheduled for an appointment with Dr. Now, and the only problem is, he fails to turn up.
I was supposed to go to Dr. Now's a couple days ago, but I missed the appointment because I'm worried I didn't do so well. I just need a little more time to make some more progress. But Dr. Nazarian called. He said I had no excuse, and if I want to avoid losing my care assistant, I have to go back and see Dr. Now. And I'm pretty dependent on my PCA, so I have no choice.
Sean is always asking for more time to lose weight, but the reality is, the more time he gets, the more weight he'll put on instead of lose. He's avoiding his appointment with Dr. Now because he doesn't want to face the reality of his situation, that he has in fact gained weight and would rather sit at home instead. Sean's physical mobility seems to be declining too, as he's back to only being able to walk a few steps. He knows Dr. Now will notice this and suspects that he'll have put on even more weight, which even Sean knows he has. When Sean steps on the scale in Dr. Now's office, you won't believe the amount of weight that Sean has put back on. It's actually unbelievable.
I've been able to get out of this bed and start walking some.
Good job, sweetie. You're doing great.
Still have ways to go, but I'm closer than I've been in 10 years. To be back out there doing things, living life.
You're definitely moving a lot better, honey.
Dr. Now doesn't realize it's not easy for me to move around, but I'm trying really hard to get past the pain.
Good job.
It is extremely uncomfortable. The appointment's not going to go well, I know for a fact. I'm honestly not sure what my weight will be. Just going to go with it, just see what the hell happens. Every time I go to Dr. Now's, I haven't lost weight. I'm gaining weight. It's not that I'm not trying to lose weight, I do want to lose it. But things are difficult, and every time I go, I get Dr. Now's attitude of, you gotta lose weight. And I'm not looking forward to that. Last time I checked my weight was a couple of months ago. When I left the hospital, I weighed about 520, and Dr. Now wanted me to lose at least 30 pounds a month. So that means I should be down to 460 pounds today. I have no hopes, no expectations. I just want to get this over with.
709.
The number today is surprising, very disappointing. Dr. Now's not going to be happy about the progress. I'm going back.
And Dr. Now is less than impressed with Sean's complete failure over the past few months.
Last time I saw you was 2 months ago, and you were 521. Now you're almost 710. So in 2 months, you gained 188 pounds. In 2 months. So how did that happen?
I just didn't give a crap.
What do you mean, didn't give a crap? About what?
Emotionally, I haven't been in the right mind.
Well, at this rate, you're going to be back to your highest weight here soon. But we can't seem to get you to understand that with the choices you're making and the way you're going, you're not going to last too long. And if that's the case, then the only thing left for me is to fill out your death certificate, only leave the date open, because you're not too far from it.
Yeah.
Because there is nothing more we can do for you if you don't wake up. So how do we get you to stop doing what you're doing?
No idea.
What do you mean, no idea?
I just can't stop eating. Don't know why.
You know how much food you had to eat to gain almost 100 pounds a month? This is more than you just can't stop. How are you even getting that much food to gain like that?
I had some money come in recently, which it hadn't.
So what do you do with the money that you got recently?
Pretty much ate it.
So how much money is left now?
Over 1,000.
How much you started with? So you ate 9,000.
Well, some of it I shopped with, but bought some stuff I needed.
You bought some stuff, then the rest was for the food?
Never said I was smart.
So what are you going to do when you run out of money?
Stop eating.
Why can't you stop now?
But as you said, impulse control. Don't have it.
Why do you think that is?
Because I'm stupid and weak.
You're not stupid. You're just playing the game. You just have impulse to eat, and you think you can keep going like you have been without it killing you. That's why you're in this situation. So you have a pathological condition that you need to change before that happens. And we're giving you the tools to do that. But we can't make the choice to use them and stick with it. You're not even doing what we said to prevent your infection from coming back, because I can smell that your personal hygiene is getting worse.
I'm trying to wash every day.
No, you're not, Sean. It's evident that you haven't washed in a week or more. I can tell because you just smell so bad. You have personal care assistant, and if you try to help it, but you always have an excuse not to do that, because either you're tired or you're busy or some other reasons.
Yeah.
So right now, you tell me how we can help you to start to do what you need to live.
My jaw literally dropped when it said that he'd spent over £9,000 in just over 2 months just on food. To put that in perspective, Sean must have spent around £150 a day just on food. It's extra infuriating too when we consider that just a few months ago, Sean said that he was too poor to buy healthy food. His outright lies are shameful, especially because Sean is essentially using this money, which I assume was some sort of disability bursary, just to eat food, when it really should have been spent on things like carers, improvement to his apartment, a gym membership maybe, and whatever else Sean needed to start his new life. Sean begs Dr. Now to do a full gastric bypass surgery instead of just the sleeve he had 2 years ago. But Dr. Now outright refuses. 1, because his body wouldn't be able to handle it at all with his current weight, and 2, because he doesn't see the point when Sean will just eat whatever he wants when he's back home anyway. 3 days later, Dr. Now admits Sean to the hospital in an intervention type situation, as a last ditch attempt to get Sean to start taking his life seriously. Dr. Now comes to have a chat with Sean about his life, but it gets rather heated rather quickly.
But the bad news is your infection is starting to come back, and you gained almost 200 pounds in the last 2 months. So you're getting back to your original weight now, huh?
Not quite that far, but close.
At this point, we tried almost everything to get your weight down. So now, what do you think? What will be an option for you?
Well, I'm going to stop eating crap, basically.
How? You had a weight loss surgery, you got down to 400, you gained 300 pounds, and...
I never said I was perfect. I screwed up. It's time to fix it.
Well, that's not accident.
I don't have any way to say how to do it. I just know I have to do it.
You've been saying that for years, and every time we get your weight down, you go home and you get dulled back. And you won't go to psychotherapy and do what you need. So at this point, the question is how to get you to stop making excuses and do what you need.
What part of I don't have a clue do I need to enunciate better? I don't know. I know I need to do it. I have to get home and do it.
You've known that for a while now. And instead of doing what you should, you keep on doing all your progress to where now you're getting to the point that we're going to be bedridden. And you get another 30, 40 pounds, then you won't be able to move. Then you're going to be in a bed and this is going to be escalating. And then your condition will just go rapidly down.
Yeah, well, let's just say this has been a wake up.
Sean, you had so many wake up calls in your life. How many more you need?
No more.
Okay. All right.
Dr. Now is pretty spot on here. Sean has never really changed before, so why should he believe that this will be the last time that Sean will completely fail once he goes home? While at the hospital, Sean gets a lot more of his personal hygiene needs met, as there's more staff to take care of him.
I've been able to take showers every day. Unfortunately, I still need a little help here and there, but I've made some good progress. I come back to my room every day hurting pretty bad. But I'm still trying and I'm getting a little better every day. But right now, I'm in a lot of pain. I have to rest for a bit. I'm in a lot of pain here. Being over 700 pounds again is depressing. But I can't let it get to me or I'll go back into a bad spot. I know I can't do that. Can I please get pain med? I'm hurting really bad. It feels like somebody's took a flamethrower to it. So as hard as it is, I'm pushing myself to get to where I need and take control of my life.
Once Sean has been in the hospital for 5 weeks and attended all of the physical and psychological therapy appointments, Dr. Now comes to check in with Sean to see how he's getting on, and also to check his weight, as he's been on the low 800 calorie diet for the duration of his hospital stay.
So let's get you up now to see where your weight's at. You were 709 a month ago, and you should have been able to lose about 100 pounds in this time. So let's go and check your weight right now, okay?
Okay. Give me like a couple minutes to get dressed. It's actually easier for me to get on the other side.
I'm proud of you. You're getting dressed on your own. That's a big improvement.
Okay, ready to go.
And you're walking a lot better on your own, so you're doing great. I can tell you look smaller too, so hopefully your weight is down a great deal from where you were at from a month ago when you were 709. All right, at this point you should have lost over 100 pounds on a controlled diet. And hopefully we get you back under 600. But let's see where you're at. 588. You're making good progress and I'm proud of you.
Somebody's going to have to grab the wheelchair.
You need a wheelchair?
Yes.
All right, you walk a good bit, so I'm going to get it.
Just like the previous times when Sean has stayed in hospital, he's lost another 100 pounds, but we know he will lose the weight in hospital because he has no one to sneak the food in for him. The real challenge will be if Sean can stick to the diet on his own at home. Dr. Now decides that the best way to help Sean is to keep him in hospital long enough for him to lose enough weight to be able to shower by himself and walk unassisted for longer. If Sean goes home to continue the progress at a more manageable weight, it might make the process easier. Currently, Sean's infection is quite severe, and he needs to be able to shower at least daily to keep it clean. Plus, Sean is so large that he's unable to wear shoes, as none will fit him. If he loses another few hundred pounds, he'll be able to fit into a pair and start walking around his neighbourhood. A few weeks later, Dr. Now gets Sean to try and take a shower unassisted to see if it's safe enough for him to do so at home, which would mean that he would finally get to leave the hospital. But Sean isn't feeling too confident about the situation.
I don't want to stall you. I'm going to get you a long-handled sponge.
Alright. Sorry, I'm trying to get a certain spot.
You're good. Take your time.
One more soap?
Yep.
Okay, so I look a little like a boiled lobster.
Hey, a clean lobster. That's all that matters.
You got a good grip?
It's been sitting so long, it's hard to stand.
Take your time.
Take your time. You're good.
You bringing a towel with me?
Yes, sir. We got some clean ones right there.
Watch, get your elbows in.
It's been hard, but it feels good to do this. My goal is to be completely independent of needing anyone's help. And I'm really proud of what I've accomplished so far.
As he's able to shower by himself, Dr. Now agrees to send Sean home in the next few days, but only after he steps on the scales for another weigh-in.
You got your weight a couple of weeks ago, and you were down to 544. So hopefully today we got you in the 400s. 489, 1 pound short of losing another 100 pounds this month. So that's great. Overall, you lost 220 pounds in the last 2 months.
With Sean's weight now in the 400s, he officially weighs less than half of what he did when he first started the program 3 years ago. The crazy thing is, Sean is still massive. It's hard to imagine that used to be over double the size he is now. When Sean finally goes home, we get to see how he's been getting on after 2 months of living on his own.
I've been home for a few weeks now. I've been trying with my diet. I'm trying to make sure I only eat what I'm supposed to eat. And I'm trying to stay within my calorie limits. I'm not eating any junk food. I'm only eating healthy food so I can lose weight. But doing this is really hard. It's not that easy to change a lifetime relationship like that. The help Dr. Nazardin is sending has been good for me. And it's been helping me get fully settled in and settled into a good pattern. The people who help me, they're very good. And it feels nice having somebody nearby. On days my PTA doesn't come, I'm responsible for my own food choices, and I'm also making my own food during the day. So I'm trying to be really careful right now.
It seems like Sean is making healthier options with his diet, but I wish he would start wearing proper clothes during the day and not just wrapping a sheet around himself. I actually feel bad for the crew here. God knows what they saw slip out from under that sheet. But it seems just a few weeks later, Sean starts to slip yet again and misses his appointment with Dr. Now.
Dr. Now wanted me to see him for a checkup a couple weeks ago. I couldn't make my appointment, so he called an ambulance to bring me to the hospital to find out where my weight's at. I missed my appointment because I have started feeling really woozy and sick. Plus, on top of that, I'm worried I didn't do so well with my weight loss.
Because Sean's life hangs in the balance, Dr. Now is serious about Sean attending his appointments. Sean agrees to go to the hospital via ambulance, but he's dreading stepping on the scale again, as he knows he's put on more weight. And just like last time, he did actually gain more weight, but this time around, it's a hell of a lot more.
After we sent Sean home from a PT facility a couple months ago, he was supposed to come back for an appointment within a month, so we could make sure he was staying on track. But he didn't show up. And then he made excuses saying he was sick and avoided us for a few weeks until I sent an ambulance to bring him here to the hospital because I was worried this all meant he was going off the tracks again. And unfortunately, that's the case because when we sent him home almost 2 months ago, we had been able to get his weight down to 489. But as of today, he has gained 278 pounds to get back up to 766 in the short time he's been home.
Oh, thank God.
So this is not only extremely disappointing, but it's a very dangerous situation we have with him now. Because with the constant weight gain, his body has been very close to hitting its limit for a while now, and every time Sean does this, he's rolling the dice on it being the time his body gives up.
The situation is awful for Dr. Now. Sean just can't be trusted not to eat himself to death at home. And then he can't just do all the work for Sean and keep him at the hospital on a controlled diet, because it just seems like a complete waste of time, effort, and money.
Well, as you know, we checked your weight, and now you're 766?
Yeah.
So that's 277-pound weight gain in only 2 months. Or more like 6 weeks, since the transition team was keeping an eye on you for the first 2 weeks you were back home. So that's a lot of weight to gain. What have you been eating?
Honestly, I have no idea. Just eat anything that sounded
You mean
good.
no idea somebody else is eating for you?
No, I basically eat anything that sounded good.
So,
My chips,
chunk
of that,
how do you get in your food?
delivered.
Getting your food delivered to you?
Yeah. Which one? I'm deleting that app as soon as I'm done.
So what is that gonna do?
I've been talking to a couple of people. I'm going to have them order the bloody food from now on.
How's that going to work for you? Sean, you started with from 900 pounds. We get you, after your sleeve, down to 400. Then you gain it back, and we put you on controlled diet to save your life. And you gain it back, and we did it again and again. At this point, we put more resources toward helping you than any other patient. But you never lost any weight. And in a couple of months, you got to be up to 900. But that's assuming you even live that long at this point. So we're going to run some tests to see if there is anything life-threatening that we need to address. Because your body has been close to its breaking point for a while now. And this weight gain can push it to its limit. But if we do find an issue, there is a chance we may not be able to do anything at this point. So you have created an extremely dangerous situation for yourself. So you're killing yourself with the food. We give you all the tools you need. Nothing is working for you. So what's the solution? What do you think?
It seems like Sean needs to have all of his cards taken away and any food-related apps on his phone blocked because he just can't be trusted. But this is all part of Sean's problem. He can't do anything for himself and needs everyone around him to do it for him. His mother, Renee, took care of him so much that he just never learned to be his own person. And to be honest, I don't think he'll ever change. I think this is part of the reason why he wants to live in a care facility at less than 30 years old, because he doesn't want to live his own life and wants someone else to just run it for him. From what I've seen, I wouldn't be surprised if Sean has some type of learning difficulty that limits him from properly taking care of himself. Dr. Now runs several tests on Sean, finding out that his health is severely deteriorated. As the only way to relieve these issues is to lose the weight, Dr. Now transfers Sean to a rehab facility where he's placed on a calorie-controlled diet and is closely monitored. Unfortunately though, just 2 weeks later, Sean passed away from complications related to his infection.
I'm very sad to say that earlier today, Sean Milliken passed away. Over the past few years, we had worked with him to try to get his weight down, but Sean has consistently regained any weight we helped him to lose. And every time he did that, it put more and more strain on his system. And his recent massive weight gain was just too much for his body to handle. His health was already starting to decline rapidly when we got him back in the hospital, so we quickly tried to get his weight down again by putting him back in a facility and on another controlled diet. But there was nothing we could do, and Sean's heart just was unable to go on and gave up. Hello. Yeah, this is Dr. Nuzard, and I was calling about Sean. Okay. And this afternoon, Sean had some difficulty breathing, and then his heart to stop, and then we resuscitated him, but he did not respond to it, and he did not make it.
Oh, God. So he has passed away.
Yes, he did.
Thank you for all you've done for him.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Sean was a sweet person who really struggled the past couple of years with everything he went through. But there were moments that he did try hard and made progress that I was proud of him for. And I very much wanted to see him succeed. For a moment after his last stay in the facility, I thought Sean was going to be able to turn his life around. But in the end, he wasn't able to overcome his food addiction, and it took his life. But Sean did try, and every struggle and fight to live, no matter what it looks like or the outcome, is something to be proud of. Sean never gave up. So as hard as it was for him to stop pretending to his old ways, what we should remember him by is that he struggled and tried until the end. And I'm proud of him for that. And as sad as his outcome is, I'm at least glad I had the chance to know him.
Sean was really living on borrowed time his entire life, as he'd weighed so much for so long. It was hard for him to find motivation to change because he had never known anything else. He spent his entire life inside and had never gained the experiences a young man should, making it impossible for Sean to imagine that his life could be different. I think Renee played a huge part in limiting Sean's life for so long, as he really did find it impossible to live without her. He never knew how to take care of himself and how to function on his own. In reality, he was just set up for failure and didn't know how to change, which eventually cost Sean his life without really getting a chance. Sean's story is honestly one of the saddest on My 600 Pound Life. Now, if you want to see more episode breakdowns of My 600 Pound Life, click the video that's on your screen now. Follow my Instagram at BigCraigYT. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss a video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.